Hello friends, Coach Bob with you, and today we are getting ready to do the grand finale closeout. Yeah, you know, it's been a while since we got back from the trip, but that is a-okay. It's time for us to actually give you the mileage and talk about our last day and just summarize how well the trip went and the ups and downs and all that jazz. So let's see if we can't find out what the woman is doing. What are you doing?
I'm doing my workout.
Why are you doing your workout?
Oh no. Gotta make some muscles.
Yeah.
Although this video is gonna the screen's gonna show my muscles.
Fish eye? Fish
yeah,
eye?
the screen's gonna show my muscles bigger.
Little fish eye. So you gonna be ready to do your closeout when you get done with your workout?
Yes I am.
That's 2 outs. Close out the workout?
Close out a workout.
All right, we'll go all out.
I'm gonna go all out. Now get out.
All right, bye. I guess she told me anyway. Let me go ahead and get some cameras set up in the office for her and I to do our thing and close this thing out. It's going to be a good time. So stick around. Here we go. All right, so here we are back in the office. Coach Vic has finished her workout, you know, getting all those big muscles, all that stuff.
Yes, I did.
It's important. It's important.
Been working out every day. Well, 5 days a week.
So we've been back a little bit. A lot has transpired. You've seen it. If you've watched the Worship on Wheels, you know what's happened. The passing of my mother, a lot of crazy things have been going on. Good things, bad things, and different things. You know, that kind of crazy thing we call
life.
Life. It's just life. That's what it is. So, but what we do want to do is every night when we were on the road, we would do our closeouts. But on the last one, we want to do a grand finale closeout because we want to talk about not only the last day of the trip, but also a few lessons learned and that sort of thing. So let's talk about the last day of the trip. The last day of the trip ended up being 283.7 miles for a grand total of 5,366.7 miles. So that's how far it was from Key West to Maine over to Erie, Pennsylvania, and back down was 5,366.7 miles.
That's a lot of miles.
That's a lot of miles.
Well, that was longer than the California trip.
It was. And on the last day, we stopped in Columbus, Georgia, and Bainbridge, Georgia. It was an easy trip, but we did find a little friend along the way, and that friend is one that we met on a lot of other days as well. What friend was that?
Rain.
Rain! Yes.
And that's not R-A-Y-N-E.
No,
as the name of rain.
No, that's R-A-I-N.
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain.
I think I have PTSD of rain every time I look at it. Every time it rains, I think about that trip. It rains so much.
So we got up that morning in the Anniston, Oxford, Alabama area there and hop on the road. We go through beautiful Alabama countryside, back roads, just super sweet. Anything that jumped out about the farmland to you that you recall about that? I know you've watched the video and we've talked about it a little bit, but anything in that farmland area, that side of the Alabama line and on this side of the Georgia line. So anything that stuck out to you?
Cut as they're supposed to be. It just was a pretty ride.
The farmland is my favorite. It was a beautiful ride. It was an easy ride that day. We got home very, very early. Once we got south of Bainbridge, the rain opened up even heavier. You'll notice one part of the video where I kind of turn around and Coach Vic is just shaking her head laughing.
Just some more rain. It wouldn't stop.
It was one of those things where you just had to laugh about it.
Here we go again.
There was no reason to get upset or angry or any of that stuff. It was just a part of the trip. It just was.
Yep.
So we get home and Coach Vic's hair was all frizzy.
Oh, the whole trip, man.
Because then it got super hot right after the rain and everything just got crazy. It was
sticky,
nuts.
Humid,
sticky,
hot,
nasty, wet. Yes, absolutely.
I didn't care after a few days of that trip. I didn't care, and then by the end, I'm like, whatever.
Okay, so now that we've talked about, if it seems like there really wasn't a whole lot to talk about on that last leg, it's because that part of the trip is our backyard. We use those roads. I've been back and through to Columbus 10 times on the Spyder.
And like you said in the video, there's that time of reflection, those last 20 miles on the way home. You just didn't think about what you did, the calmness of it. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, with him saying that, not knowing he was saying that, I'm thinking that. So I saw that on the video. I'm like, oh, it's pretty interesting how he put that reflection on there when that's what was going on.
We actually, it's pretty amazing that on these trips, when we get home, we're tired, but we're also ready to go again.
Yeah.
I'm itching to go up north to North Georgia, go do the back of the dragon, the tail of the dragon, and do another trip up to a place called Cades Cove, which is where Coach Vic, when she was a college cross-country runner.
We went there for 2 summers in a row and ran the Cades Cove loop in the morning.
Right.
The first summer, morning and evening, and the second summer we just did the mornings.
Nice.
It was nice.
So we definitely want to get up there and get some beautiful. That's a beautiful part of the country. If we can go up there when the leaves start changing color in late October, that is kind of our goal. We do have Biketoberfest coming up, which Coach Vic is not a fan of. They've got the DeLand Spyder Rally that's coming up. There's also Maggie Valley that's coming up. We're just not quite sure exactly what we're going to do yet.
Well, because of swim.
Not only swim, but of course we know that this Delta variant thing is out there. We'll just see how all that transpires and what it does to the potential of travel and the safety of travel. And we'll just handle it as things happen. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've always done, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Right. So back on our trip to Maine.
Oh!
Got the Maine coffee cup.
Oh. Ooh. That was the only moose we saw right there.
Now, I thought going to Maine was going to be all about the lobster. But where we were, it was all about the moose.
It was all about the moose.
Didn't see any moose, though. So I found this coffee cup and had to get the coffee cup with the moose.
Well, you know, it's funny. The guy that I mentioned in Ashland, Maine, Earl, I have become Facebook friends with him. And they were doing a lobster boil just here recently up in Ashland. And it was pouring rain at it.
Oh, wow.
They had tents set up and all that stuff. And it was just pouring rain. And then like 30 minutes later, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's just it. That's just the way it is up there.
Right.
All right. So now we've covered the last day. We've talked about the possibilities of the future. But let's back up a little bit. We've done the Maine trip. Is there anything that sticks out about the trip as a trip in its entirety?
Well, I remember one thing that was very really fun. The cicadas. Those crazy, I guess, insects. We heard this noise. Now, I will admit, I heard that noise in Vermont, but I didn't say anything because I was afraid to say anything. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to stop. So I heard it again when we heard it on the highway. And we heard it. I'm like, what in the world? But I didn't. I thought I might have associated. I heard the noise, but I didn't know what it was. When we stopped at the rest stop and turned off the CanAm, and we heard that noise, I just started laughing. And Coach Bob did not get that on video. It was pretty funny. It was even louder.
We were relieved.
It was good,
you know,
but the whole time it was those darn cicadas going the whole time.
Yep.
So it was funny.
2 things stick out to me. 2 major things. Actually, there are a lot of things, but 2 in particular that really, you know, you have those moments. One was when we pulled up to the Mount Katahdin lookout.
Oh, yeah.
Your reaction when you saw Katahdin.
Holy.
I mean.
Yeah.
She was like, my dad hiked up
I heard that for years, how my dad's going to hike the whole trip. And he ended up doing the whole trip, south to north, you know. But when he hiked up, when he has the picture with him standing at Katahdin, when I saw that from the distance, I'm like, wow, that's what he hiked up.
It's eye-opening.
So it was very impressive, very impressive. So I do remember that very
well. To me, that was one of those moments that just...
A wow moment, yes. It was pretty neat.
The other was seeing Coach Vic's face as I was walking back from the Fort Kent Memorial thing at mile marker 1 and seeing her smile. Now, Coach Vic, you see her smile every now and then on camera.
Just every now and then.
But Coach Vic, honestly, she's one of those people that she's pretty serious, just generally speaking. And so she's not one that walks around going, I do that and I drive her crazy with it.
But he's got a good smile. It just works for him.
But
it just works. I don't know.
She has this beautiful smile. And so as I'm walking up, there's just this smile and her eyes are just wide open. I go, happy birthday. Oh. What a great way to spend your birthday.
That's right.
And because what had happened the day before when she was not feeling well.
Oh, yeah, I felt horrible.
And then all of a sudden to have this turnaround and then to compound it with the fact that the day was beautiful.
It was a beautiful ride, and we made it to we made it where we wanted to go, and I was thinking, I'm so glad I didn't miss this. I'm so glad I didn't wimp out or chicken out or whatever. I'm glad I went through it and made it to the top, which was really neat.
And another thing that always sticks out is the people. The people.
Oh, the whole trip, you can't beat it. I mean, people are nice everywhere you go. You just
it's humbling. It's wonderful. And then there's one other thing that I want to mention, and this isn't something that was, external. This was internal.
Ooh, what's he gonna say?
This trip, due to my fitness level, was more difficult.
It was a little difficult.
It was more difficult.
Yeah.
But I don't believe, and I'm just going to be just brutally honest about me, okay? Uh-huh. I've gone through a lot of things in the last year in taking care of my mother and taking care of a lot of things. And I've allowed myself to lose my level of fitness that I normally have maintained a certain level of fitness my entire life. And through all of this stress and all of these things, although I have a modicum of fitness, I've always done a lot better. And so that lack of fitness, it definitely impacted my ability to endure certain things with ease.
Well, I sure didn't know it because you didn't tell me about it.
I'm not going to say that I was never miserable. I don't mean it like that. Normally, even suffering is easy for me. It normally is just easy for me. This trip had moments that were hard, that were tough.
There was more suffering on this trip than the first trip. Burrs, freezing in the, shivering in the cold for hours at a time. That was pretty tough because I can't stand the cold. I'm getting a little used to it though.
Can't stand the cold, can't stand
the heat,
and can't stand
the rain. Well, I love the heat. I grew up in the heat. Heat to me I had no problem with
heat was hot.
But I'm getting older. I guess it's just getting hotter. I don't know. It's just, can't take it like I used to.
But we have now crossed the country east to west and north to south. It has been exciting. It has been amazing. I could go on and on about the people. I could go on and on about this country. I think that I've made that abundantly clear when we did all of the other videos. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that it's necessary for me to go down that again. Mm-hmm. But I do want to say this. I am so proud of my wife for traveling and enduring this.
I know, I can't believe when I think about it.
Both trips. Trips.
That we did that, yeah.
She was so hot when we were going to California that I was afraid for her well-being, generally speaking, just her overall well-being. She had to crash and burn in a motel lobby. And we're not one that...
Oh, in California.
Yeah, on the way to California. It was in Texas, in West Texas.
Oh, Texas. Mm-mm.
Now, and then north, when I saw her, there was one episode, you've seen it, where she's pulling the Fritos out of the bag.
Oh, it was so cool.
And her hands shaking
really
like that.
Yeah.
I have seen her endure these things.
Yeah, but there was also a funny moment, too, in the... that was not on camera. It was on the way back. I forget what where we were at, but when we went to the hotel, it was the wrong hotel. So instead of me getting back on the CanAm, I just pushed the next hotel, and it was raining, of course. So I'm in all this gear, 5 layers of clothes, rain jacket, everything.
Push your wheelchair down.
Pushing my wheelchair, probably a quarter
of a mile down the road in the rain.
Down a hill like a like a ditch, and then going over like another ditch thing in the parking lot, and then push up a parking lot, raining.
It was kind of like in Texas when you push down the road.
Push really well because all this gear was all bundled up on me. And I'm like, get me on camera. And he didn't get me on camera just because it was pretty fun. After a while, I just started laughing.
Well,
it was
what happened?
just funny.
There was so much rain, and the cameras, everything was wet.
Yeah.
Everything was wet. Well, what we're going to do in the next week or two, we're going to make a video that is going to have the cost of this trip, fuel, lodging, food, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And we'll also do a cost comparison between the East Coast crossing, up north to south crossing, in the current economic status of America.
I can't tell you which one was
versus the southern crossing east to west, in that economy and more interstate. It's vastly different. Vastly different.
Right.
And also you have to realize is that the East Coast, there's much more of a demand for motel rooms. So they're more expensive.
Yeah,
a lot more expensive.
A couple nights we had to go somewhere different because they were booked up.
Yeah. Sometimes you just couldn't even find a room. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I did get an upgrade one night because some lady heard me checking in, and then I asked about a handicap room, accessible room, however you want to say it. Anyway, and the lady said it's going to be extra charge. So some customer in the lobby, excuse me, ma'am, did she just tell you it's going to be an extra charge? I said, yes. And she goes, well, I'll cover the cost for you if that's a problem. I'm like, well, no, thank you. I'm fine. It's not. I'm fine. It's not a problem. But they normally don't charge for it. They don't normally charge. But anyway, she came back in late. She came to the room after we were in there and gave us an upgrade. It was
oddly enough. Do you remember what day that was?
No, I don't.
That was the day she was sick.
That is
so
right.
She went in. When I booked the room, they did not have an option for a handicap room being available. So we just booked the room and we were going to deal with it.
Right.
Then she asked for the room, and for a total stranger to advocate for you.
Oh yeah.
It was just
we ended up getting a room.
Yeah, everything just worked out perfectly on this trip.
Yeah, that was that really big room that was bigger than my first house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these cool things, and we could tell hundreds of stories about how people treated us with kindness, how people were always wanting to talk with us. Remember we met the guys in the Red Robin restaurant in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania?
Uh-huh. They came in with all their gear, their motorcycle gear.
They were drenched
and taking it all off right in the restaurant. Yeah.
And
we even walked from the hotel to the restaurant, and it was raining.
Yep.
Just couldn't
and
get away
cold.
From it.
It was
and
cold.
It
was cold.
Yeah.
But we are going to be doing that real soon. We've got some day trips that are coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Really, really would appreciate it. I would say that right now, 70 to 75% of all views are from unsubscribed people.
Unsubscribers, wow.
So be sure you subscribe to the channel. It does help us. It moves us up in the algorithm, which makes our channel more viewable. It means it will be recommended more as other people watch other CanAm material. It'll show our little link down at the bottom, and that's how the channel will grow. And it's all, and look, it's grown because of you guys. I mean, you're the numbers. You are the numbers, and we are grateful. So I want to thank all of you subscribers. You make this possible. We are having channels, other channels. John and Miriam is subscribed to the channel. There's another channel that I really, really like called Round the Corner. Look them up. They're in Australia, I believe. And man, the guy's cinematography work is beautiful. It's beautiful, man. I'm watching it going, I need to do a little better. I love watching these other channels. They inspire me to make this channel even better. But you wanted to say something about a subscriber.
Oh, two things. Well, about a subscriber. I just came across this one subscriber on Facebook that I just happened to see their trip to Sturgis. At Jay Jenkins, I love how your wife is all spunking her pictures. That just got my attention really quick, and just thought she looked really cool with all her poses.
I think that it was a picture that she was standing on the Spyder. She was
standing on the Spyder,
and Coach Vic was like, now if I could stand, I'd stand on the Spyder.
Yeah, so.
You know.
And speaking of the channel, how you said you want to improve things, whatever. We did do a little. We had a camera flub, so we held the camera at one point a couple times, took some pictures like that. So I'm gonna try that next time we go on a ride. I'm gonna just hold it and take some different random pictures.
I will say that added an entire new facet to the channel by doing that, and it was through the fact that things were tearing up.
And it was just a couple seconds, but it looked really cool.
So what I have to do, I have 2 cameras right now that I have to send back to GoPro. They're damaged. The rain has just destroyed the hardware in there that stabilizes the film, and so you might have noticed in a couple of the videos, it looked like the trees were going like whoop, 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 just weird little. We would be focused, and then things would just be moving in the background. Things that were stable. The wall would move. It would look like water was in the wall.
Right.
And so, but we had to use what we had. But everything was wet. Everything. I've got a cracked screen on one. So we got to get that stuff sent in. I've just got a new Hero 9 black. I love it. Got a Hero 8 black. I love it. Right now we're also in the process of setting Coach Vic's helmet up to be a motovlogging helmet.
I know. Now I really need to have to talk more.
We're going to actually create an entire new series based on being a pillion on a Spyder.
I'm working on it.
So she's nervous about that. So encourage her in the comments below to not be nervous about it.
Because I got to talk a lot now on the.
She's going to have a microphone in her helmet. She'll have the camera running, and she'll just be talking about
whatever
different topics of being a pillion, riding in the rain, riding in the cold, riding on a rough road, riding on a twisting road.
How I see over a 6'2" person
when you're only
5'2". I have to literally go to look. Otherwise, I'm just over here looking to the side. But if I want to see something, I gotta go over here or on the side. I gotta switch sides so I get a kink in my neck.
So understand that the channel is growing. I got a lot of Two Wheel Tuesday stuff. You probably saw the one that came out yesterday. Two Wheel Tuesday, I've been delaying it until I could get enough footage to get a little bit ahead of the game. And then, of course, with all of the things that have gone on and editing these videos, the videos from the trip to Maine, those videos, when I go to edit those videos, it is not uncommon to have 8 hours of editing in a video like that. A lot of times more than that. Well, you figure there's 13 episodes. You do the math.
He's gotten quick though on them.
I mean, that's
quicker than the first trip.
That's over 100 hours of editing just in that series. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot with my mother being ill and all of the things that we had going on, and then keeping up with all that. It's been real challenging. Things are starting to normalize again. Mm-hmm. We do have swim going on, but that's normal. And
until we can November.
Then we can do our day trips. We can do things. One more thing that is funny to me, but wasn't so funny to her. I asked her one day, I'm like, you notice that every time the camera's running, you're eating something?
Oh, I noticed that on the gas station trips. I'm always eating chips, and I do eat my little snacks when we stop, but I'm like, I told him we stop like every 2 hours, but I'm kind of thinking, no, that's every 2 hours. But it's just one bag of chips. I need to quit doing that.
No, you don't.
I need to quit eating all the time. But
look, when you're cold and you're shaking, you need something to warm up. Me, I'm going to tell you, I just want a hot cup of coffee.
I like really coffee, but I just love having a little bit. That's become my thing. But that's a lot of chips today. It's just one little bag.
One of the things that I really do enjoy, though, in the summertime riding, and we do that. You've seen it. Slim Jim and a Coca-Cola Icy.
Yeah.
Man, we love the Cola Icy with a Slim Jim. Mm-hmm. You just can't beat that. Just can't beat it. So also, do me a favor. Encourage Coach Vic to go to some motorcycle rallies with the old Bobster this year.
I don't know.
She's not a motorcycle rally person. Encourage her to go.
Well, CanAm ones I might go to, but the other ones I've been to plenty of them between Jeep Beach and motorcycle Daytona Beach rallies. I'm Daytona Beach out.
She's Daytona Beach out.
I did a lot of those back then, so I did. But maybe a CanAm one I'll go to.
So if they do Trike Fest this year, we may go to that. That's over in Daytona. That was pretty good. That's the year that we met Bill and Millie.
Oh, okay.
And we met Beth from Riker Rides.
Right. Oh,
That was a
one.
wonderful trip.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a wonderful trip. But it rained. It rained for 2 solid days while we were there. What is it with us and rain?
It's raining right now.
It is. Well, we got to button this up because I got some editing to do. We got a hurricane, or not a hurricane, tropical storm, tropical depression.
We'd be playing in the rain down south if this was happening down south when I was a kid. Everyone has to bunker up here because this little bit of rain. I'll just be quiet.
Everyone can't be.
I'll be quiet about that one.
Everyone can't be a Katahdin like you.
I'll just zip it. Yeah, what a Katahdin?
Yeah, we can't be the Katahdin you are.
Please, I am not. Don't even go.
You remember what Katahdin means?
Ooh, I forgot. Big something.
We can't be Katahdin like you.
Yeah, I forgot what it means.
Forever wild.
No, I'm not. Don't even. Zip that one. Don't even.
Oh, no, we're definitely keeping that one in there. So, I want you to do me a favor, though, until next time. Go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right.
Take care of yourself.
And remember, if you're not having fun,
you're doing it wrong.
now you go seize the day. We'll see you on the road real soon.